Do you want to know how to understand native English speakers? Keep watching and I will explain some useful and easy techniques for you. Hello, this is Elliot from etjenglish.com, helping you become a fluent English speaker. So yes, today we are talking about different ways in which we can understand native speakers. A lot of native English speakers talk quite fast. I naturally talk quite fast, but I slow down in my videos for you so that you can understand me. The speed of which we talk can vary in different parts of the world. For example, in England, a lot of people find it harder to understand people the further north you go, whereas a London or a Southern England accent is a little bit easier. Anyway, what I'm giving to you in this video is some free advice on ways in which you can understand native speakers in conversation or on the TV. So let's get straight into it. Firstly, don't think, just do. Do it. A lot of my students have told me that when they are talking with a native English speaker, they're worrying about what they're going to say next. So they'll be in a conversation and it's the other person's turn to talk. So while the other person is talking, they're thinking, oh, what am I going to say? Shall I say this? Their head is going like this and they're having conversations with themselves thinking, what am I going to say next? What do I say? What do I say? Imagine this person's talking to you and then you're talking in your head. So you've got a voice going on up here and you've got the voice coming from there. Really, you need to cut this one out, kill it, and you need to just listen to this one because that's the person who is talking to you. Being a fluent English speaker means that you don't have to think about what you're saying. You just say it. The English comes out naturally. If you're doing this already, then you're getting into a bad habit. Don't worry about what you're going to say next. Just listen to who you're talking to. And if you don't understand something, just respond with a question. It doesn't have to be related to what you're talking about, but it will keep the conversation going. But if you want to understand native English speakers, you need to listen to them and don't worry about what you're going to say next. There's a great quote I read, which was that English conversation is not a competition. You're not trying to impress anyone, you're just trying to learn. So just listen to what the person is saying, and when they finish speaking, say what you have to say. Say what's on your mind. Say what comes into your head. So this leads me on to my next point. Always ask questions. Questions. If you're in a conversation and you don't quite understand what the other person is saying, just ask them. If they say a word, maybe a slang word, don't be afraid to just ask them what it means. So, for example, I was in a lesson with one of my students the other day and I said the word sophisticated. Now, after I said my sentence, I said to him, do you understand? And he said, oh, yes, I understand. And then we carried on with the lesson. And at the end of the lesson, I said, so what does sophisticated mean? And he didn't know the answer. And I could have spent some of that lesson telling him what that word meant. So always ask questions, whether it's about vocabulary, maybe they said a word which you don't understand, maybe they're talking about something and you're not sure what they're talking about. Just ask questions. It will keep the conversation going and it will build your understanding of what they're talking about. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Don't be afraid to practice. And don't be afraid to just listen. Now, for those of you who don't really have access to native speakers, but you still want to be able to understand them, a good tip is to watch something. watch something on television, and watch it without subtitles. Test yourself and see how much you can watch without subtitles and how much you can understand. So while you watch this, write down in a notebook anything you don't understand, anything that might confuse you, and then come back to it the next day, the next week, and watch it with subtitles and see how much you understood. Now, it depends what level of English you are for all of these tips I've given you. If you're not quite at that intermediate advanced level, you might find some of these hard, but I think that it's important to throw yourself in the deep end, which means to go straight in, take on the challenge as soon as you can, as early as you can, because you will be exposing yourself to English in its purest form, which is in conversation with a native speaker. Don't forget to subscribe and visit my website if you would like to book your first lesson with me. Thank you very much for watching, and happy learning.